Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's another week of racing in SLR. Starting off with Tier 4, we are at Silverstone. Joining me in the commentary booth today is Kebab. Hello, Kebab. How are you, sir?
Hello, Chief. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm very much looking forward to this one, and it looks like we've got a wet quali at least on our hands. We don't know about the race, but we me and you actually have had a bit of wet running, so we're familiar with these conditions. As definitely bot actually goes sideways, full wet, so it looks like oh, and there's a big crash. Ace boy just went into definitely bot span out there, and let me just double check here. I'm getting some feedback on the stream. Just bear with me a second. But yeah, I just caught that. I don't know if you saw that yourself, Kebab, but
I didn't know, but people are already struggling with these conditions. Be interested to know what the conditions are going to be like in the race. But if the qualifying's full wet for the entire time, we're going to see who can deal with the conditions and who can't. If it is going to be a wet race.
yeah, it's weird though. It's like blue. Oh, I was getting blue skies there for a minute, but it's just turned very gloomy. So yeah, it's looking like full wet qualifying. I can't see this one drying up, but yeah, like I say, we've had some experience of this, these conditions, and it is tricky. It is very tricky. You have to try to be brave through some corners, and with each lap, you do tend to get a bit more confident. But sometimes that rear end can just snap on you, and yeah, I've changed the audio settings there a little bit, so if we can get a bit of feedback from guys in the chat if the audio levels are good. But Dr. Ooper going P1 for now with a 140, so usually you see what, like 127s, 126s, 125s in dry conditions in quali, and here we go, 140 on the board, so you can see how much it affects the pace.
People are definitely struggling with these conditions. I think the best option here is to kind of take a bit of extra fuel, go out, do a few laps, get used to conditions, let it dry out a little bit to try and show what you can do. But as we see a tyre, as there's a tyre there on the start-finish straight, so somebody's definitely struggling with the conditions if they've got a tyre missing.
For sure, yeah. So it's a few drivers struggling out there today. Nico going pole with a 140.1, but I think even though it is raining pretty heavily, it's probably going to improve a little bit. As you see, the tires will throw up a lot of the water into the air, and you'll see that dry line start to form as we see more people going. There's X Crystals goes 139. He's the first one, 149. Max follows right behind 149.9. He's in P2 for now. And I'm getting confirmation in chat that it is a dry race, so I am actually thankful for that. Yeah, I think a dry race is going to be better for us as spectators and commentators. So
yeah, as well as for the drivers as well. It is a very as we had a wet race yesterday. It is a tense affair, and it is all about survival rather than race pace. So it's definitely better for us as spectators to see people kind of really battling it out on track.
100%.
But with that being the case as well, definitely Bot, who's retired early in the session, is going to be starting from near the back. He is a championship contender, so it'll be interesting to see how quickly he can make it through the pack, because he is very good at that.
Yeah, so we've got 4 guys actually out of this session already. Jimmy's definitely Bot, who is one of the championship leaders, I believe. I'm actually going to bring up some graphics on screen just while we're at the 10-minute mark in the qualifying, and I'm not sure you'll be able to see this, Kebab, but we've got the driver standings there, and you can see who is at the top of the field. It is definitely Bot, I believe. I can't actually make out the writing on the screen there. I can't really see
it. I can see it.
If you want to talk about it, yeah.
Definitely Bot, leading by 189 points, closely followed, it seems to be a 2-horse race at the moment, by Ace Boy at 186, with the closest next rival being Crystals in third place at 101. So a few of the drivers behind that kind of thing, kind of picking up points here and there kind of thing, but it definitely seems like a 2-horse race between definitely Bot and Ace Boy, who are both out of this qualifying session already. So I wonder if that's a calculated move on their part. Maybe they've talked before the race and said, yeah, let's try and do the first challenge together. and see if they can make it interesting. But as we see the constructors coming up now, Renault in a commanding lead at the moment with 229 points, closely followed by Haas, 173, and Ferrari with 143 in third. So still not over by any means, and a lot of the season to go left.
Absolutely, yeah.
Left still, and a lot still to play for, but definitely about an ace boy. I'm wondering this race could define the rest of the season, I suppose, if they're both starting from the back.
Yeah, and this is technically the first race of the second half of the season, so we've done 11 rounds so far. I believe this is round 12. So as you say, a long way to go in the season, all to play for, and yeah, we're getting a lot of good feedback on the graphics there. You know, I worked hard on those graphics. Yeah, I stayed up really late last night, and I'm glad that is appreciated.
Really though? Really?
No, it was actually... I'm just waiting for Danny to give off in chat. Yeah, it was Danny Co. Danny Co has been working very hard behind the scenes. He's a tier 4 manager, but he also does the standings every week, and he does an absolutely great job. So it's good to see some great feedback coming from the chat regards to that. But I'm watching Danny here as he makes his way through the final sector, puts himself P8. I think Danny is one of these guys we need to watch. I was in a practice with him. It was dry conditions, but he was absolutely rapid. And in Tier 3 to SRL, didn't have a great race because it was wet conditions, but I reckon in a dry race setting, he is just going to excel. So I think Danny will win this one, as Dragon himself says in chat. But we have a lot of fast guys in here. We have a lot of reserves as well this week. I could name a few. SLR George MS7 is making his return, as is Flaw, and let me see if I can pick out any extra. Oh, Dr. Ufer is also making a return. I believe Zyken is a new driver to this tier.
Yeah, he's proved to be relatively quick in past races, kind of thing, but he does need to work a little bit maybe on the consistency. A couple of spins in the past races maybe, but yeah, Daddy Otis as well is already in third place on the grid here. I saw him in a practice session yesterday, and he was relatively quick as well. And hopefully he can keep it clean for his first race here as well, because it's his debut in TF4.
Yeah, he has been absolutely rapid in practice, but again, when he's in him, usually we practice in the dry, so these wet conditions are really test the drivers today. Also, Lepson is a new guy as well, so another one to watch out for. So quite a big percentage off the field right now is our kind of debuted drivers, and Danny pulling into the pit. So let's see, we have two drivers yet to set a lap. We've got George, he's been away for quite some time, and he's actually got himself a wheel. He's in the garage at the minute, but he's yet to put a time on the board. But he switched to a wheel, and he switched to no assist, so it's been a pretty big jump for him. He's just getting up to speed, so today's all about getting some track time. And Flaw as well, we've seen him previously. I believe he was tier 3, and on his day he can be pretty fast, and I think he's actually won a few races in SLR as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've raced against him before in the past, and he's beaten me. So it's people tell me I'm quick, but he's definitely quicker than me. So he should be interesting to see how he can perform today. He's on a lap at the moment, as he comes through Maggots and Beckett's, keeping it nice and tidy, nice and planted. Gets up to 8th gear before Stowe. Takes a very wide late apex there on that one, very nice, and see how he can do coming into final sector club.
Yeah, you kind of have to tiptoe around this part. It's and yeah, he goes wide there, but a
little bit wrong.
Keeps it on track there, so it looks like it will be a valid time, and it puts himself P11. He got
yep.
The little
probably cost him quite a bit of time there. That
yeah.
Little, twitch, but that is one of the trickiest corners there. That exit to club out on the start finish straight. In the wet, it's nothing like it is in the dry. You cannot put it's very difficult to get the power down, and you've got to be so gentle.
Indeed, and up front, we kind of missed it there, but T Easy has gone P1 with 149.3, so the times are coming down somewhat, but not too much. So, yeah, this rain looks like it's still coming down pretty heavy.
Yeah, definitely. And it might be the whole qualifying session is in the full wet, so it's just a case to see who can handle the conditions the best. It's all about bravery at this stage as well.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just laughing at chat here. There's a bunch of guys here, some funny guys in chat. Pretoria saying, "Why is it called Great Britain? Like it's not even that great." You're talking to two guys who are actually British, so it's probably probably not the guys to ask. I mean, we think Britain's pretty great. I mean, this track, you know, joking aside, is one of the drivers' favorites. Personally, I love the track. The only problem is everybody else loves the track as well, and yeah, it always throws up some really good races usually. So to see if this one is one of the classics or if it's going to be a washout.
Yep, definitely. It's my favorite race on the calendar, my home race as well, and I always try and do better here than I do elsewhere. And otherwise, it's just a really fun track to drive as a driver. It's incredibly fast, incredibly difficult, as we've seen from S Crystals, who goes off in that final corner, slow the game, catches somebody else trying to get out on the power too soon.
Okay, X-Crystal's obviously pushing a bit too hard, but yeah, we kind of said about this, Sector 3 is, especially at the very end there, the last few corner sequence, very tricky, have to tiptoe around there. You want to be greedy on the throttle, and even turn 1 as well is another particularly nasty corner, because you want to carry as much speed through there as possible, but the car does not like to be moving laterally, and yeah, you can often find yourself in the grass, and I'm not sure what X-Crystal's doing here. Is he just jumping out of the way of these guys who are on hot laps? But it's strange to see X-Crystals struggle, because usually he's one of the faster guys.
As I can take P2 there out of nowhere. It's a very quick time from him, but Ezeroglu's secured his P1 with an even faster time with a 39 dead. Not bad at all in the conditions.
Futuristic in chat, tier 3 driver, asking what happened to Definitely Bot and Ace Boy, but yeah, we caught on stream, Definitely Bot had a spin, unfortunately Ace Boys went into him, so those guys are leading the driver championship, so they're going to be starting from the back, so that's going to be interesting to watch that as they fight their way through the field. And T-Easy actually improved his time, so he's 39 flat right now, and looks like he's on pace. He's liking these wet conditions.
Yeah, it's Nico as well is also worth mentioning. Up in P4, he seems to have adapted to the conditions quite well. But there's still a lot of not much time left in the qualifying. Actually, we've probably got the spectators bug as always, so there's probably another minute left on top of here. So there will be maybe a little bit of time for a few people to get an extra run in.
Yeah, and you know, the track doesn't look like it's drying out too much. It might be drying out a wee bit. Might be able to get a bit of improvement. So it might be the guys who get the last runs in might be the guys who actually improve the most here, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It really is tough in qualifying, because you got all the pressure of trying to set a valid lap time and a fast one at that to put you at the front of the field. But if you just go over the limit just slightly, the back end's going to flip out and you'll be in the wall. As T-Easy breaks into the 38, so yeah, he is absolutely loving life right here. He's obviously a wet weather master.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself out there, where maybe sailing's his secondary hobby, you know? Used to handling a boat.
I'm not seeing anyone else improving though, so I don't think anyone else is really taken to these conditions too much. George has put a time on the board, P15, so hashtag not last for George, as he tries to get up to speed with the new wheel. Actually, interesting bit of folklore. He's using Icewind's wheel, so Icewind was kind enough to send it from Finland over to Greece, and George is now the proud owner of Icewind's steering wheel, and making good use of it right now. Like I say, he's kind of trying to build himself up again with the no assist. It is tricky, turn it off, and especially in these conditions.
Yeah, when I first started with the wheel, assists were a necessity just to keep it in a straight line. But hopefully with that wheel, it's got some of Ice's mojo in it or something like that kind of thing, and it can give him a little extra half a second or so. But yeah, it's great to see that there's some kind of there's some help coming from others in the community. You know, as his icons out of the session, the fire. I'm not sure what's happening. I think he's in the pit. I think so.
Yeah, so he won't be improving on his time. I'm watching Torska here. I see he jumped up to P4. Danny P5. So he's managed to get a good lap in as T Easy improves once again, just slightly, but 1:30.945 is the time to beat. I don't think we're. Oh, are we seeing anybody capable of beating that time? I think X Crystal might be up on his time here as he's only. Is this the Hanger Straight? No, it's not. It's. I'll let you handle the corner names. I think it's Coronation Street corner. No?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure the names of all of the corners myself, to be honest. So, but, yeah, not sure. There's a few people who look like they're still out on track, kind of thing. But I'm not sure whether or not they're going to be able to set fastest laps or anything like that. Kind of thing.
I just caught Danny. Where is he? He's yeah, he's nowhere. He's basically freewheeling it right now. He's out of the session, so pushing a bit too hard there. As Nico is on a lap, and according to my delta, he's -7/10. So big improvements possible here for Nico if he gets his lap together. He's going through Magus Specs right now, which is in dry conditions is Harrier seat stuff. Wet conditions is yeah, it's just like 10 times. 10 times.
Very cautious on the exit there. Didn't get the right line going into it, but maybe that'll cost him some time. But yeah, looks like he's currently one of the few drivers running. I don't think anybody else is going to be on a lap.
Oh, I'm seeing a car fly off in the background there. Some AlphaTauri is not having a great day. But Nico tiptoeing around. Yeah, sorry. Nico's about to cross the line here. He puts himself P4, so improves by 2/10 in the end. And I think that's it. Great Lampos is, yeah, he's the AlphaTauri who's.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he's going for the scenic route.
That's I think T. Ezrod's first pole in SRL. So congratulations, T.
Yeah, good job from T Easy. 138.945. Not a lot in it. What's that? 8/1000s to X Crystal, and then we've got a bit of a gap back to Isaacin and Nico P4 Torska. I think that's probably his greatest, position in qualifying so far.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
Danny as well. P6, Flaw P7. New guy, Daddy Otis.
Daddy Otis, yeah.
I love that name.
It's great, isn't it? So yeah, he's done well in his first qualifying in a wet as well, kind of thing. But Max, I would have expected Max in the Ferrari to be a bit further up the field if this was a dry qualifying. So I think he may be disappointed with that, but we'll see how his pace starts in the race. It does look very, very sunny in Silverstone for the race.
So we are about to go live with the race start, but first the hardest lap of the race, as we're all aware, the formation lap.
Yeah.
So currently the drivers are just selecting their strategy. So speaking of strategy, do you want to just give us a wee bit of intel as to what is the OP strategy around here in dry conditions?
So in dry, it's a pretty easy soft medium. You've gonna have everybody, all the front runners, anybody in the top 10 are going to go start in the softs, obviously, because they're qualified on the softs. Anybody behind, though, are most likely going to start on the mediums from 11 downwards. But we might see some surprises in there. A couple of people risking the softs for the early speed. But yeah, soft mediums shouldn't be too much of an issue. A medium soft should be slightly better, but it's 6 and 2/3s on that. But some people may go for the soft hard if they're struggling with the tyre wear, but it's the hards aren't great around here. Very, very slippery, should we say. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. It's probably going to be for strategy-wise.
But we've also got the safety car factor, which can safety car can come out at any point in the race, apart from the last few laps. So it's another thing to watch out for. It can really scupper the best strategy. It's happened many a time to many a driver where you've worked hard on that lead, and it just all goes to pop because the safety car comes out. But I've got a wee graphic on screen there by Pretorius showing the track record for this track. I can't actually, again, read that myself. I need to get my eyes tested.
128.7 by Icewind. The track record is 125.8 by Etric. I can't say that. Etnikern.
Oh my God, you're butchering a legend's name. Ethnic TRN. Yeah, we call him the electrician because
The electrician. Okay.
yeah, he was a season 1 prodigy in SLR.
I can't say I ever met the man. I didn't join until season.
But this game, yeah, we're gonna see that track record beat quite handily, I would imagine.
Oh, yes. Demolished, I think, would be the word. So, because yeah, the cars this year are stupendously fast. As we've got Max and Uther contact with each other on the formation lap, and they've fallen foul of the hardest lap of the race. But it's quite late on, so I don't think the tyres will be too cold, so it shouldn't be too much difference for them, I don't think.
As T-Easy makes his way to the front row of the grid, he has earned this pole position, as you see, passing Max and Ufer, who will have slightly colder tyres than everybody else. But here, Kebab, I'm going to hand over the race start to you.
Please, though, because I don't have control of the camera.
Oh, don't worry, I'll follow. I'll follow what you say. Yeah. But yeah, I'm basically on T-Easy at the moment, and I'm seeing the guys at the back just slotting into their grid, so it's about to be lights out, and away we go.
Okay. So we've got the lights starting at the moment. We've always got that slight delay. Let's see what kind of start we can get here in the Great British Grand Prix. And drivers are ready and raring to go. Are they being held for quite a while? And we're off. And it looks like S-Crystals gets a very good start on those mediums. It's a very interesting choice to go for the mediums there, but it seems to be paying off. He's into turn 1, but Ezeroglu takes it straight back. And it looks relatively clean as we look down the grid, but into turn 2 we go. Crystal's still right on the back of Ezeroglu as Nico has made a replacement with Syken, fighting straight back at him. Lots of place changes here. And Dadiotis up to 6th place already. He's got a very, very good start. But relatively clean start from all the drivers so far.
Oh, and Flog goes into Dadiotis.
Sideways, yes.
Yeah, he just caught the wheel there. Nasty contact. Max as well got caught up in the first sector. Is right at the back. So yeah, I thought T-Easy was going to get swamped there at the start, but he a great comeback there to hold on to the lead. And he's actually building up a little bit of a gap here to the X-Crystals.
Wasn't going to give that up easily, no. But it looks very, very interesting from X-Crystals to go for the medium, starting in 2nd place. But let's see if it pays off for us. He's going to be able to run off a lot longer and be on a very, very fast tyre on the 2nd spin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to pay off dividends in the end, but he's got to hold on for now, and hopefully he doesn't get swamped by these self-runners. Of course, DRS will be enabled in lap 3, and that is going to be crucial. This is known as a DRS-friendly track, and we'll see a few DRS train forms, throughout this race, I imagine. T-Easy sets a fast lap of the race. Obviously, he is the leader, and that will always be the case.
Yep. On the first lap, you mean only the leader can get the fastest lap.
Yeah.
But Ace Boy, starting from the other back of the grid, is already up to P11, along with Definitely Bot as well. So they've both made up a lot of ground, and on the medium tyres as well. They're in a very good position for the rest of this race.
Yeah, right now it's about finding that groove, just trying to dial into the track and just be consistent, really. I think consistency is key, and holding on to DRS where you can get it. And I'm seeing Definitely Bot is all over the back of Ace Boys here. These guys are championship leaders, and it's all to play for between these guys. They're currently P12 and P11, having to start from the back, but made up almost halfway up the grid. So pretty good start from these guys.
Yeah, looks as though they're not going to wait until they've overtaken everybody else. They're going to try and fight with each other on the way through the grid, all the way through. It's definitely what gets past quite easily there on Hannah Straight.
Yeah, I think Ace Boys wasn't actually using any overtake, so he kind of conceded that position. He runs wide for his third corner. Might pick up a warning for that.
I'm being told to tell you to turn off the fastest lap graphic. It's still on.
Oh yes. Thanks for that. Senior moment. Ezekiel fastest lap DRS enable as well, so here we go. All aboard the DRS train as Shaka picks up a penalty, which is very unusual for him.
Oh, we've got some incidents there in turn 1 as it looks as though somebody's spun wide. Danny Otis and Danny got past a couple of cars there.
Ever Snacks, yeah, he was the one who went off there, so he's back in P17, so he's had a bit of a spin, needs to get his head down, get back into the race. So I think about four drivers falling off the back here due to incidents. Everson Max is just about hanging on to P16 though, so he's not quite out of this one yet.
X-Chris was doing very well to hang on to the back of Ezroglu on the medium tyre here with who's staying in DRS, and I wonder if he's just going to hold on for a while until his tyres are faster and he can make the move. Playing the long game in the X-Crystals.
Oh, I know, we do have a move. It's definitely Bob makes another position. Actually, through Magus Vegas, so yeah, I didn't catch that move, but it must have been a pretty tasty one there through Magus Vegas.
Yeah, I didn't catch it the full extent of it, just the tail end of it kind of thing. But yeah, he was in the middle of Magus Vegas going around that Red Bull. So very brave from him, and he puts a bit of breathing space between him and Ace Boys championship rival.
Yeah, Ace Boys cannot afford to be held up too much by Till. He'll know that the championship points are at stake here, and he wants to damage limitation or at least have a chance for the win today. As we've seen, some time penalties coming up, so this race could be decided on time penalties. Great Lampos is out though. What has happened to him?
I'm not sure what's happened there. I have to wait until Flo catches up with him, but it looks like he's lost it in turn 1. By the looks of it, and ended up in the wall. Yeah, so I think maybe on the second part of turn 1 he's lost it, and
virtual
not
safety.
much more to say about it.
Yeah, virtual
Yeah,
safety
we have
car.
a BSC as well.
I was wondering why Flo was slowing down so dramatically, but I do have someone in the pits. Lepson is deciding to make the most of this VSC pitting. He's back in P19. George P20 at the moment, still struggling on that wheel, but still track time, I guess.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, and yeah, you do struggle when you first get the wheel. If DRS is a move now to VSC, go back underway. Yeah,
X-Crystal's just momentarily fallen out of DRS range, but that VSC just timed it nicely, and he's actually gained a lot of time here on the Hanger Straight with the aid of that DRS.
Yeah, and nobody picking up any drive-throughs or anything like that, so nice clean restart.
Yeah, and I'm watching definitely got hair kebab. He looks like he's going to go for a move on his, is that his teammate? Yeah, Torska lets him by there, and definitely got up to P8. And Ace Boys as well, P10 is right on the back of Torska as well.
Yep, so he's, well, something must have happened to Tilda there, because he was between them at some point, so now he's down to 16, so
no.
he's missing, isn't it, there as well, so they can get the greatest restart from the VSC, but yep, Ace Boy and definitely Boss making quick work of getting through these drivers and getting up the grid. I'm starting to see a couple of gaps forming near the top with Zyken and Danny falling out with DRS and Daddy Otis as well, just on the cusp of it. A couple of gaps forming, but we are seeing a few trains form as well, kind of as well. Big one from P6 down to P13 there.
Yeah, and Shaka is starting to come under pressure now from the definitely World Championship leader, and yeah, it's really Magus Vegas. I mean, it's all about the exit onto Hanger Straight. We'll see this demonstrated here. See who gets a better exit onto the Hanger Straight. It looks like Shaka getting a pretty decent run, but of course, definitely Bot has the DRS. Shaka does not, so he's pretty much a sit and duck at this point. And definitely Bot going on the inside and making that move before they actually reach the apex of the corner.
And Shaka will just be wanting to try and hang on to the back of him now, get DRS himself and catch up with the front runners again. He needs to hold on to DRS as best he can. Has definitely got fastest lap in the mediums now, so 29.1.
So
So we might be starting to see the switch over now, yeah, where the medium, the softs aren't quite as quick as the mediums might be. So
Yeah.
might be looking for a move on Ezeroglu soon. He has done very well to stay up within DRS this entire time.
Yeah, he's in great position right now. I mean, he's managed to hold on to the T-Easy pretty well here, and that's going to boot him well. Like I say, I mean, he's going to have the soft tires for that final stint with a low fuel load as well. I mean, he's going to be sitting pretty. All he has to do is keep it on track and keep this pace consistent.
Yep. And he's in a great position here to catch up on the championship as well because of his starting position. He's starting in second place, whereas the two front runners in the championship will both start in 16th and 19th or something like that. So not entirely sure where Ace Boy and definitely both started.
Yeah, you can see him really pushing, like especially for Magus Beckett's there. He was almost throwing the car for the corners. And I'm just thinking he needs to be careful as well. He can't afford to make any mistakes here. He'll throw away this great start he's had.
Yep.
But so far, he's right on the back of T-Easy, doing everything he needs to do. And it really is just about biding his time as T-Easy going to be a bit defensive there already. Danny with fastest lap, definitely posting another fast lap, beating Danny's there quickly. 128.9 is currently the fastest time on the board.
Nico has managed to get past Shaka as well, but Shaka doing his best to hang on to the DRS and stay with these guys, but it doesn't look like it's working for him because he's still got Ace Boy, who's getting left behind a bit now by definitely Bot. He's still languishing down in 10th place, but he needs to start getting past those cars in front quicker if he wants to keep up with definitely Bot.
Absolutely, and we've got Max going for a move on Dr. Roofer. I think Dr. Roofer might have conceded that.
Dr. Roofer's sideways there.
Oh, yeah. I think he was trying to let Max pass there, but he just got it all wrong there. I know those guys were teammates in previously, so maybe they're in VC together, but that didn't work out too well for Dr. Roofer, who falls way off the pace.
I have to say, he did very well to save it from when I switched my camera to him. He was full on rally crossing it at drifting around the corner kind of thing, and he managed to save it. Well done.
Oh, and definitely Bot gets another move done. He's making this look easy. It's like a hot knife through butter. He gets past a Daddy Otis. He's moved up to P5, so he's hot on the heels of this front group now. P5. Yep.
Danny's done well to get very well to get past Azaikan as well. He's also another one putting the hammer down, and he was your tip for winner of the race, wasn't it? So, yeah. And I think at this stage, I mean, I'm gonna stick my neck out and say X Crystals for the risk of jinxing him, kind of thing. If he can keep this clean, then he's got an excellent shot at winning this.
Yeah, looking at the gaps, I mean, it's anyone's game. Top 5, or it's it all takes is one penalty, and you could go from P6 to P1 easy.
Yeah, so it's just about keeping it clean and sticking to the plan at the moment. I think X Crystals is right on the back of Ezeroglu now.
Oh, he is indeed, yeah.
Before he's going to make that move. At some point he's going to think, well, if Ezeroglu's slowing him down, he's going to have to get past him.
Yeah, because he's got Danny behind him just outside of DRS at the minute, but if T-Easy pulls up X Crystal, Danny will gladly take a hold of that DRS. T-Easy gets a wheel in the dirt, and that is going to compromise his exit, and you can see the overspeed already. X Crystal now with the DRS, and a little bit, didn't even need to use too much overtake there to get the move done. Now up to P1 and able to stretch his legs on these mediums.
And that's terrific for him now. He just needs to kind of lead the race, because I don't think with the tyres falling off that Ezeroglu is going to be able to catch up to him now. He's going to be susceptible to a move from Danny, but all three of the drivers behind him are going to have to pit in the next 3 or 4 laps, and he can keep going until lap 20, 22. No, sorry. I'm not entirely sure how long will he go for. Pretty much the whole race. So he can choose.
Pretty much the whole race, but I think around 21 laps is optimum.
5 laps on the softs, incredibly fast 5 laps, quali laps. Yeah. So he will be looking to make that gap bigger from now, but and break the DRS, because that's not an easy thing to do around Silverstone. But once those guys pit, he's going to be in free air with nobody behind him. Well, maybe definitely Bot if he can catch up to the back of Crystal. He could maybe, yeah. So still all to play for. There's a lot happening. There's a lot to think about here.
Yeah, and Danny as well, he's caught up on T-Easy, so T-Easy's struggling on easy at lap old soft tires. I think actually, just to correct myself, I think these softs can go for a bit longer, can they? It's like lap 9, 10, 11 I think is the range for these softs.
Yeah, but the undercut can be quite powerful here as well, but it's you can't take them as, the softs are quite durable, you can't take them as far as lap 16 before they kind of get into puncture territory. But the question is...
oh, sorry, we got a safety car, Kebab. I'm not sure what caused that, but we have a full-on safety car. So this is suiting the soft runners. All the soft runners are going to pit. And I'm seeing Ace Boys on the mediums is pitting as well. So
yeah, I think that's... 16 laps on the softs is doable, so going on the softs from here, you can't get them to the end, so it could be an option. But I think it was maybe Lepson, because he's got no front wing whatsoever. Coming back in, maybe he's caused that safety car, but he's still alive, so no DNF. But we're all getting people getting held up in the pits now.
Yeah, and I saw a bit of a argy-bargy between Max and I think it was Ace Boys, and I think they picked up 5 seconds each for that contact as they tried to make their way into the pits. But yeah, look at this. I mean,
unfortunately as well. Yeah, I don't know if he was past the pit entry or he decided not to go.
I think he decided not to go, yeah, and I think it's probably the right move for him. But what do I know? I usually get my strategies wrong unless I have a crew chief guiding me. But I think X Crystals, yeah, it might be, might. I don't know. It could go either way. But this is what I love about this kind of stuff. You get to see it play out, so we'll find out if it was the right move or a bad move for X Crystals.
I'm not convinced it's the right move. I think the free pit stop is gonna, it's gonna cost him a lot when he doesn't have a safety car kind of thing, because everybody else is getting that free pit stop and he's not.
Yeah, Pretorius, he's pretty much in agreement. Yeah, he's saying he would be in the lead even if he pitted. So, and Pretorius is usually my crew chief as well as Icewind, so I will trust his logic.
Yeah, I think he had to pit there, and I think as well that the softs might be the best option here as well, because I think they are durable enough to get to the end and maybe touch and go near the end laps, but going on the softs here for the restart and getting out ahead of everybody else kind of thing early is and Crystals does pit eventually, so yeah, he can lose a lot of positions here.
Yeah, so I wonder if he was past the pits whenever that safety car came out, because that is terrible. That is going to put him right to the back of the field.
Yeah, he's got it all to do now. I think that could be, I'm not sure what to say about that.
Yikes. And he's put hards on as well to further compound things.
Yeah, there's a few people have gone for the hard option, to be honest. George at the back's got on the hards. So is Ace Boy, Nick, Torska.
Definitely Bob. Yeah.
All went on to the hards, because they're thinking that the soft can't get it to the end. Everybody else has gone for medium, so they're all going to have to pit again because... Well, actually, no, Ezra Rockley's not going to have to pit again. He started on the soft, so everybody who was on the soft and went to the mediums is looking like they're going to be in a very, very good position.
So, of course, this, I mean, the guys who really benefited from this, apart from, well, pretty much everybody but X Crystals, but the other guys who benefited are those guys who were at the back, like Lepson. I think he caused the safety car, but George is brought back into this race. Flaw, Tild as well was falling off the pace a little bit, but they're all going to be back in this. They will be at the back, but it's almost like a lifeline, really.
I think Lepson's been lapsed as well, so I'm not sure if this will help him so much, you know. But just look, one of those days for Lepson, unfortunately.
So I reckon safety car might come in this lap. I mean, it's probably going to be next lap because we've got George here.
He's quite way off the grid. Behind even at the moment the last car of Lepson on the track.
I think some people in the chat are also agreeing with you that you could probably get the soft from here, and I believe that probably is the case. I mean, once the safety car goes in, what are you going to have, like 16 laps maybe? 14 maybe? easy.
15 laps on full pace and the things, and yeah, I think it's definitely doable, and that would be the option that I would be going for if I was on the medium at this stage. But there's not going to anybody else on the track agrees with me at this stage.
And I'm just looking in chat as well. Philo is in chat. He's my favorite driver, and he's a tier 4 driver, and he's not on the track today. That makes me very sad. Philo, get yourself on track. Hopefully for Hungary. I want to see that pink car. P1, man. Let's go.
Yep, we're going to have definitely at least one more lap of the safety car, because George is going to catch up this lap. I have seen a few drivers start picking up penalties and things like that kind of thing, so it might be a good time to have a quick spy through who's got what. So Ezeroglu has at the moment, looks like 3 warnings but no penalty. One of those must be for like maybe bumping into the car. Danny has 2 warnings, no penalty. Azaiken, no penalties. So yeah, all the top guys, top 6, sorry, have no penalties. But Max has 2, and I think pretty sure Shaka picked one up early on, which was uncharacteristic of him.
I suspect that we will see some, at least a few of these top guys get some penalties in this final stint, because they're going to be pushing hell for leather, and that's when you do tend to pick up the penalties, whenever you're pushing the absolute limit. Yeah,
for sure a couple are going to pick up 1 or 2, as Lepson's handed a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag.
Okay.
Not entirely sure what happened there, but yeah, it looks as though he's gone past floor under the safety car, and then not given the position back. So I'm not sure why, but maybe we'll find out after the race with the FIA report.
So my boy Danny, my pick to win this race, is P2 currently, and safety car is in this lap, so these guys are going to get these tires up to temperature, and it's away we go.
Ezra's already got a large gap there. I'm wondering what he's going to do. He's going to try and catch them lapping. He's going to break them up. I'm not sure. He's got to slow down a little bit, because obviously he's got to let the safety car get in before he goes. See what happens on the restart.
Yeah, T-Easy backing up a little bit. Looks like he's
gone in.
Looks like he has gone. Yeah, he has indeed. And Danny not getting caught too much off guard there. Danny actually got a pretty decent start behind him there, so he's closing in on him, and
he didn't catch him napping at all, and he's already right on his gearbox.
Yeah, T-Easy looked like he went defensive, and that will cost him time as he tries to get his way through sector 1, and Danny can get a good enough run out of here. He's not going to have DRS this time, but he will have overtake, but so will T-Easy, who goes very defensive. And I think Danny's too far back to make anything stick right now, but yeah, this battle is on, and there's a bunch of guys behind as well. Are very interested to see what happens up front.
Yeah, so what the safety car is going to do is going to reset all of the DRS trains as well. So as long as you don't make a mistake here, you can kind of stay with the front runners kind of thing. Like, it's going to be anybody's race here. Yeah, all these guys down to DRS train down to Shaka at the moment. Any one of these guys could win the race from here at this moment in time, depending on what happens in front of them.
Oh, and look at this, X Crystal is always going through Magus Beggars. It's too wide. It looks like at least two multiplied by 2 wide there at one point. And X Crystals need to be careful here. These guys are going to be a bit slower than his pace, but he is on these hard tires as well, so it's going to be slippy out there for him. Looks like
another move into Stowe by the looks of things. I'm not sure who's there, but nope.
Had to back out of that there. Don't want to get contact through that corner.
Yeah.
Oh, and Torska gets hit, and he's going sideways. Yeah. He drops on the order. I think it was P10. He's now down to P6 with that incident, so he's not going to be very happy about that. He's actually down to P17 now, so not great for Torska. Just needs to get the head down.
Yep, unfortunate race for him so far. He had a promising qualifying session. But yeah, just needs to keep his head down and try a recovery drive now. Anything can happen here, and just needs to keep putting in those laps.
Got a battle here, Nico and Max. Nico looking like he's got a good bit of pace in this Red Bull today. He has a Ferrari charging ahead of him that he has to navigate his way past as they head through Cops Corner. And that corner, this year you can take that flat, which is pretty exhilarating, but that back end, if it steps out, it's it's one and done and game over pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's a test of bravery this year, because previous years you had to lift. It was all about how little did you lift, and this year it's about, you know, you've got to keep your foot in it and you've got to get the line right, and if you get it wrong, you die. So yeah, not something that I've fallen foul of this year so far. Only in practice sessions, so thankfully not in the race, but I've got a feeling that we're going to see a few people fall prey to that. As the car gets lighter, it becomes easier and easier to do, but it also can throw you off. Because there's a Rob Luke there, fastest lap, he's really putting the hammer down, trying to get rid of, shake Danny off his tail, but Danny doesn't seem to be giving up at all. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the critical point. DRS is now enabled, so you can see Danny using that DRS is to chip away at that lead at P-Easy. You have to be smart though, because once you get in front of a car, if they're on similar pace, I mean they're gonna find it pretty easy to hang on to your car, and they can just use that if they're smart. They can store up ERS and then mount an attack on you later in the race.
I'm just checking the ERS.
Oh, Danny, sorry, Kebab. Danny goes wide there for Cops Corner, picks up another warning and gets a penalty, unfortunately. So he's 3 seconds to his name.
No, Danny, no, not like this.
Not like this. Oh,
yeah,
definitely welcome for a move on a Zekin, and he must have got a massive run out, or a Zekin compromised his exit from onto the hanger straight. So definitely bought on these hard tires, gets his way past a Zekin up to P3. So he's actually P2 really. You know, with Danny picking up that penalty, so he's looking good for a podium right now.
As you said before, he's cutting through this field like knife through butter, hot knife through butter at that, you know. So looking very good for a race from here, but Ezeroglu still hasn't picked up the penalty, I don't think, so he could have something to say about it. He's being on the medium, the quicker tyre, and he's starting the soft, so he doesn't have to stop again. But yeah, definitely Bot's going to have his work cut out to keep up with Ezeroglu on the medium. I think they are about a second quicker maybe than the hards per lap.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Just looking, Lepson has retired from the race, so he's retired in the pits. Not a great race from him today, but it is what it is. And I'm watching the P11, P10, P9 battling here, and Eversnax goes wide, and yeah, wheel in the gravel, sends the car sideways into the wall, and I believe he's probably going to will consider retiring at this point because he's got massive front wing damage on that car.
We're starting to see the mistakes creep in, because it's one thing to go around the track in one piece kind of thing, but to do it quickly and for 26 laps in a row. The tyres change and the conditions aren't really changing too much yet today with weather-wise and things, but obviously the car gets lighter and you either have dirtier or you don't. Things like that. I think people are falling foul to just lapses in concentration by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's it. This track really is all about consistency, and I see Daddy Otis. He's had an issue. I don't know what it was, but it's something to do with Max, and he's fallen right off the pace. I think they had it come together at some point. Max up to P5.
So yeah, that looks as though we've missed out some action there. But Max is doing particularly well after a disappointing qualifying P10. I think he would have been disappointed with that. No one is paid. Now up to P5, but he is known for being a bit elbows out, should we say? So I'm wondering if Daddy Otis might have some words to say, but we didn't really see what happened there. But Ace Boy still finding it difficult to get past a few of these drivers, and like definitely Bot is kind of like cruising past these guys. And Ace Boy's he's not really getting it done.
Eversnax retiring from the session after a speeding penalty in the pit, retired in the pits, but I'm watching this battle up front. Danny, I mean, he's doing what he needs to do right now. He's putting the hammer down. He needs to get past T-Easy and just build up a bit of a gap if he can, but T-Easy is on form today, putting his car exactly where it needs to. And Max gets past Zekin, so I just caught that on the background at Stoke Corner. But Max has found some great pace here in this final stint.
Yeah, he's made up a couple of places there very quickly, and definitely Boss got to think about what he's going to do here. Is he going to? Because Danny's got to make a move sooner or later on Ezeroglu for that lead. Otherwise, he's going to come under too much pressure from definitely Boss. And looks like he's looking every which way he can, Danny, to get that move done, but he cannot seem to get an exit. When he get it on the DRS.
Oh, he's going to get him here. He's got DRS, yeah, and he's going to use overtake. He's not much overtake left. He's 5%. And, when they go side by side.
Attack there, I think. But definitely Bot waiting in the wings behind with almost 80% DRS available to him.
He's low on life, yeah.
Waiting to pick up the scratch from this. But Danny does get the move done in the end.
And
Danny with that penalty though.
Yeah, he needs to push hard here to build up a gap, but as I say, it's going to be really tricky with this DRS screen.
And he's got to hope that Ezeroglu holds up definitely Bot a bit as well, because it looks as though...
Yeah, super impressive run here from, look at that, they're snaking all over the show.
Yeah, by the looks of things, oh my.
Definitely Bot didn't know which car to go behind there for the slipstream. He had a choice of two.
Yeah. He's just playing it safe here, definitely Bot as well by the looks of things. He just doesn't want to get in any incident here.
Yeah, but these guys have to be careful because they're backing up into Max, and Max is almost in DRS range, and they got a Zekin behind him as well. So
yeah, they're going to cause another train to let everybody back into the fight essentially. And definitely Bot's got to be wary of that as well, because some of these guys are on a quicker tyre than him. So you can't take the race win for granted here. None of them can at this stage. They've all got to fight for every inch of track, I think, at the moment. Danny's going to try and get past Ezeroglu again.
Yeah, Danny's throwing everything at him, including the kitchen sink, but it's not sticking. T-Easy's on form today, and there's a lot of support for T-Easy in the chat, so I'm sure that he's channeling that into his race form. But is Danny actually going to go for a move side by side through Cobb's corner? Does not do it. Probably wise.
Yeah, that's asking for trouble side by side. You've got two wide and Cops. I'm pretty sure you cannot take Cops flat with two cars.
Yeah.
Actually.
That would be impressive to see now. I mean, but I think
somebody would one or the other would have to lift.
Yeah, definitely. Bot is getting past Danny though. Danny, he gets a super run. Wow, what a run from
super run. It just he came out of nowhere. I was following Danny, and just out of the side comes definitely Bot zooming down the left hand side and takes them both in one DRS zone before the corner. Gets Ezeroglu on the outside round Stowe as well. Very impressive move. And on the hards, he's got to really create a gap here now, because he's not going to get much quicker, I think. And the mediums, I think, it's impressive that he's even done it on the hards, to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah. As we said at the start of the race, hards aren't. You try to avoid them, but definitely Bot's making them work right now.
And Ace Boy though, I'm looking at him. He's still in 7th place. So he is not making those hard tyres work for him. He is catching the back of Daddy Otis, but he's surely going to make up a couple of other places. But with definitely Bot, the championship rival, winning the race, he really should be up there fighting with him.
Yeah, and T-Easy and Danny, the battle between them is actually playing into the hands of definitely Bot now that he's got past him, because look at that gap. He's actually outside the DRS range now, so he can just stretch his legs up front. He's got this race in the bag.
Getting out of DRS so quickly is absolutely huge.
Oh, and look at this. Max, it gets a super run on Danny, and he's past him, and he looks like he might get right onto the back of T-Easy here, so this race is wide open right now.
Yeah, Max, look, showing some real pace. Maybe he's going to be the one to challenge definitely Boss, because he's really putting the hammer down. And it looks as if, maybe Ezeroglu and Danny have been fighting so hard for so long for this top spot kind of thing that they've kind of burned up the tyres, used up all of their ERS. all of their resources and they can't really compete anymore. But Max, he's fairly low on ERS as well, and he's definitely boss. He's starting to deploy a lot of it now to try and create this gap. But I'm wondering if Max can pull one out at the back, because it's been a while since we've seen him up in these positions, but we've known for a while he's had this pace.
Another time penalty coming in for Nick there, but we're trying to focus on this battle up front because it's a 5-way battle for the lead. Although Danny's the only one out there with a penalty, we believe. But yeah, T-Easy was looking like he was going to win this one handily, but definitely Bot charging through the field, made the most of the safety car. Put a hard tire on, which we were kind of questioning at the time, but now looks like it was the right call for him. And Nico as well, 3-second time penalty, that might cost him P10 in the end. Shaka at P8 as well, and shout out to him, he's hanging on to that position quite nicely.
Yeah, he's just keeping it clean and chugging along, not getting involved in any incidents or anything like that kind of thing, but he's good, looking good for points at the moment. Definitely got set the fastest lap at 28.1 and a half. That is an impressive time.
Ooh, and Nick going down the inside of Nico, and it's too wide for sector 3, but I think Nico just getting a better line there, keeping ahead for now, but under a lot of pressure is Nico out there.
Yeah, Nick's looking like he's having an enjoyable race out there. He started P20.
Ooh,
SK.
What a send! Oh my word! I think I don't know what happened there, but he got a massive send on Nico. One right down his inside. Look, he was going to get the position, but
look for it now. It's the side by side coming out.
Yeah, Nico's just going to get the
name of that corner, but with the DRS as well, he's going to get it done.
Oh, and a bit of contact as well there. No damage done, but that allows X Crystal now to absolutely catch up in these two, and he's going to look like he's going to try and get past these guys by the end of the lap, I reckon.
Yeah, he should be something like a good recovery drive from X Crystals after the safety car problem, but he is going to try and go for round cops. No, he does lift and break a little. Nico hangs it on the outside. Brave from Nico. As Ace Boy gets a 3-second penalty. But with 4-second gap to Shaka, we'll see. I'm not too sure that's going to play into it. But Ezeroglu gets a 3-second penalty now as well. There's a few of these guys starting to rack up those warnings now. So that could cost Ezeroglu his podium. Danny, I think, has got a penalty as well, doesn't he? So I'll just have a quick check on the penalty situation at the top.
Yeah, just while you did that, watching X Crystal, just tapped Nico slightly in the back in sector 3, but no harm done. And X Crystals remains in P11 for now, but let's go back up front, see what's happening there, because you see Danny's right on the back of Max right now.
Max does have about 9 seconds of penalty, so it looks he's not really in the running here, even though his pace is there. Zykin doesn't have any penalty, so he could gain massively from the end of the race as well, and Ezra's just got the 1 penalty, so he could hang on to a podium. Danny's got a penalty as well, but Ace Boy with a penalty and Zykin without one. Zykin's looking very good. Daddy Otis has 1 penalty as well. And Shaka's just the 1 penalty, so a lot of this is a race for position, but look at Max, even with his pace, his penalties are going to cost him a podium here.
Yeah, that kind of explains why he's got this mentality of just charging through the field right now. He knows he's got those 9 seconds to make up, and it's going to drop him down a few positions, so he needs to get as many positions right now as possible while the race is still alive.
Yep,
oh,
Danny picked another 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that is not
he's
good.
Very lucky to survive that, even, to be honest. Cutting that sausage curve out of club is very dangerous, I have to admit, because it can spin you into the wall, in the pit wall, and just ruin the race. You know, he was fortunate not to have that happen. But yeah, that maybe that's going to ruin his race. Unfortunately, he's going to be thinking about dropping maybe behind Ace Boy at this rate. If Ace Boy can close up half a second, Ace Boy could be looking at gaining a few positions.
Yeah, a couple of battles still playing out here. We've had 2 laps, including this one to go. X Crystal's struggling to get past these guys. It must be these hard tires. He's finding it hard to get a good exit on onto the straights. So currently P11 for him. I know he has at least 2 penalties as well. So yeah, it looked like he was on for a decent finish today, but that safety car really screwed him over, it seems.
Floor pits for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. But just come out. But he hasn't gone to stop play. But 2 laps to go, he's not. And unfortunately, I don't think he's going to finish any higher than where he is. Definitely botted 128 for the fastest lap on the hard, so he's proven to be just quicker than the rest of the field. You know, alien spotted.
Alien ascending, yes. A Daddy Otis getting passed there by Ace Boys, but they're running very tight for Sector 1 here. And yeah, there's quite a lot of points on the table here still to play for, as we head into we're now on the penultimate lap, and it looks like X Crystals finally gets his way past Nico there. It's been a long time coming, but I think Nico's probably going to fight back here as he's heading onto a DRS straight. So I don't know, X Crystal's got a bit of a gap there, so might be able to hold on to this position for now. Yes, he does indeed. So X Crystal's up to P10 on track.
X Crystals will need to put the hammer down now and get back into DRS of Nick. Otherwise, he's just going to lose out to Nico on the last lap, I think.
And he picks up another penalty there, yeah.
That could prove costly.
Well, we'll get a side-by-side as it through cops. No, Jimmy's backing out of that one, so Doctor are up to P12. But these guys at the back are having a right ding-dong. Torska capitalizing on Jimmy, slowing down for Cops Corner, and gets past him, and he's up to P13. He's
right on the back of Ace Boy now as well. They're making a move back onto Ace Boy. I don't know if Ace Boy can get out of DRS on this last lap, but as we head into the final lap, definitely Boss already with a 3-second gap nearly over Ezra Blue. Looks comfortable for the win.
Yeah, and let's just ride on board with definitely Bottas. We appreciate what he's done today. He's not had the optimal strategy, but he somehow made it work. We were kind of questioning it, but yeah, these hard tires don't seem like they're that bad if you can get them to work for you. I mean, I've pretty much stayed away from them all week, but definitely Bottas showing that it is possible.
Well, some would say that maybe he's too quick for the tier, possibly, and that's why he's beating everybody else by half a second on the hards. But he's very impressive what he's done. I mean, even at times, even in other tiers, I'm thinking what he's done here is very impressive. And to start from so far back on the grid, definitely is impressive.
Yeah, you just saw that shot there with a McLaren in the background, just showing you the gap he's built up here. It's almost 3 seconds as he runs his way through the final sequence of corners. And it's another win for definitely Bot. I think it's back-to-back wins for him, I believe, as he crosses the line in P1. But who is going to get P2? T-Easy on track P2. Actually,
a 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty.
Yeah, T-Easy holding on to that P2 as he can jump up to P3. Danny down to P4, and A Daddy Otis is P5. Max P6. Ace Boys, nice finish there from him. P7. Shaka, 4 points for him in the bag. P8. Nico P9. Dr. Ufer bringing it home in P10 for that final points paying position. And,
no way, so he mustn't have had many penalties there. He was a bit further down the grid there, so well done to him picking up that point. Clean race from him,
X Crystals crossing the line at P12 for him, so he is going to want to go and get his head chart after this race and forget about this one pretty soon.
Driver of the day.
Driver of the day, definitely not Flaw. Although he did get fastest lap, so he put the softs on there and he stole that fastest lap, so he crosses the line in P17.
Giving him an honourable mention for never giving up, Flaw, but I mean the game's obviously going to give driver of the day, so he's definitely boss, but and I mean he's definitely worth mentioning for driver of the day as well, but given that I think he's got it like 4 times already this season, because he's done this a few times, kind of thing, where he starts on further back on the grid, kind of thing, and keeps it clean, overtakes well, and ends up winning the race. Done that a few times this season. I'm wondering if there's anybody else that we can give it to.
Yeah, stream chat, if you want to give us your recommendations for driver of the day today. There's quite a few guys had some pretty good races. Pretoria saying, look at that chin, admiring Schumacher's jawline. Let's have a look at this then. So the only guys that didn't get penalties in the end were definitely Bot and Azikin. And I don't know about you, but I'm looking at this thinking Azikin for driver of the day based on no penalties and a podium finish.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, he was third on the grid. He was third in the. He wasn't there the entire race, but he was always there or thereabouts. But yeah, it was a very clean race from him. Yeah, I was happy to give it to him. I would say an honourable mention to Dr. Uther, just considering how many places he made up there at the end, and also to Daddy Otis on his debut as well. He's done extremely well, go from 8th to 5th.
Yeah, some great debut performances there. Hopefully we'll see these guys pick up some full-time seats. I know there are a couple vacant at the minute, so if you're interested in a full-time seat in Tier 4, please speak to Danny Coe, who's a Tier 4 manager. And I think it's about time that we head to the interview. So let's see if we've got anyone waiting in the wings. I would like to speak to quite a number of these drivers today, but let's see who is
Shaka and Sonny in the waiting lounge.
Oh yes, we've got T-Easy in there as well. Actually, I wouldn't mind bringing him in.
Yep.
Let's see if we can yoink him in. Hello, T. Ezra Glue. Nothing. Okay, that's worth a try. That's the only time I'm going to try and pronounce his name, by the way. Any other time is T-Easy. But T-Easy, are you there? We're gonna have to. We're pressed for time here. We're going to throw you back in if you're not.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Oh, happy days, happy days, happy days. So, what a race for you, my man. P2 in the end. You did pick up a penalty there at the ladders.
Yes, what a race, guys.
Oh yeah, that looked really good. I mean, you were leading for most of it, or well, for a good bit of it anyway. And it looked like you were on for the win. And chat was going crazy. A lot of support.
Yes, I was a P2 after a very hard qualification times, but I tried my best. Tell me.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously were pushing it to the limit there, and unfortunately picked up that penalty. But I mean, definitely bought. What Kebab was kind of saying it. He's kind of like in a league of his own almost. But you did well. I mean, you held on to the lead for quite a number of laps there, but in the end, I think definitely Bot just had the speed on everybody today and was able to make his way past you. But I mean, safety car. What was your thinking whenever the safety car came out? Was it a no-brainer where you didn't have to think about it? It's just I got a pit right now, or were you tempted to stay out maybe? I think you were on soft tires actually, so you're probably thinking I need to pit. Like this is like the best thing for me ever right now.
Yes, I think that Crystals, when the safety car comes out, is already past the pit entry. So I was so lucky to get in fast, and it was my lap to be honest to put the soft tires. So I was very lucky for this.
Yeah, it worked out nicely for you, X Crystals, as you say. We were unsure if he had just passed the pit box, but yeah, it seems that was the case. And he just missed out, and it really killed his race. Basically, I think he finished P12 in the end. But yeah, I mean that's what racing's all about. You got to take your luck when you get it, and it worked out for you today. So it was a great race for you. Kebab, I don't know if you have any further questions for T-Easy, but
no, I think you've covered everything that I was going to ask him essentially. But yeah, I was very impressed with you today. You've had some great battles on track and kept it really clean and pacey as well. So hopefully more podiums for you in the future. Well done.
Thank you, Kebab and Ocean. But I think I tried my best today. It wasn't my favorite track. I I wasn't so easy. It felt well with this set, but I tried my best, like on Austria.
Yeah, that's all we ask, that you try your best. And I mean, we've got Hungary next. How you feel about that track?
I think Hungary is very tricky track because you must manage well your tires and a lot of bottles, but it's very narrow track. So we'll think what we'll do, our strategy with McLaren.
Best of luck in that race, and take care of yourself, Ezra.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we will speak to you in the coming weeks, I'm sure, as we keep a track of your races. I mean, I'm just trying to organize here. I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted, but I'm trying to get a few other guys in for interviews. I think I see we've got Danny.
No problem. While you're doing that, I'll bring Danny in for the time being and get that interview started. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hello, Danny. Great race for you there today. Picked up a couple of unfortunate penalties, but how was that for you?
Oh, great race today, happily. That second penalty I shouldn't have really gotten. Rear end slipped out and just had to go over the sausage curb. Kind of well, the car didn't feel quite so good out of that corner anyway, so unfortunate to get it. I would have been in probably P3.
Yeah, maybe just narrowly missed out on a podium there with that one. I did see that on as a spectator as well. I'm not sure if it was on the stream or not, but I did see it as a spectator. And at the time, I was mentioned on stream that you were lucky not to hit the pit wall, because I've hit that sausage curve a few times, and it violently steers your car to the right sometimes. And yeah, you were lucky to get away with that. Not just the penalty. You could have very easily died. I was thinking. So, yeah, but. Yeah, your pace today was absolutely fantastic, and you were having a real ding-dong battle with Ezroglu, but how difficult was he to pass? It didn't seem as though it was the easiest thing in the world.
He's great at defending. Every time I would look at one side, he'd cover that off, and I would run out of space basically to try and pass him towards the end of the corner. The only time I really got around him was around turn 4 or 5, that loop onto the second sector.
Yeah,
I had
and
a better exit on the outside line and got past him.
I think he got you straight back anyway, didn't he? So
yeah,
he proved very quick today. But who would you consider is your closest rival on the track at the moment? Who are you kind of pitting yourself against, or if anybody?
oh, probably top between the bottom 5, or not the bottom 5, the bottom of the top 5 to the bottom of the top 10. So probably around 6th to 10th, because the top 5 could be, they're quite quick. Crystals.
Is there any particular driver that you like to you tend to find yourself next to on track a lot of the time, is what I mean, kind of thing, rather than where the positions are, kind of thing?
Not quite, not really. I could have a good race and then I could have a bad race. So always a mix of people that I'm beside on the track.
Very true, very true. Any questions from you, Chief?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you watch the stream back, you'll see I picked you out as a race winner today. I was thinking, I remember that practice session where you were pretty fast, I have to say, and I thought I definitely had you marked on as a dark horse for the win today. But it just wasn't to be. I mean, it looked close. It was tantalizingly close at one point. But yeah, you're up against some pretty fast guys out there. And I think it's only a matter of time though before you get a race win, Danny. And I'm definitely one of the drivers that I'm tracking the progress of, because I think you're one of these guys. It's just going to get better and better with each race. So speaking of that, how do you feel about the next track, Hungary?
It's quite a lot like Monaco, just without the walls. So high downforce track. Tires, you need to look after your tires quite a lot. So could be strenuous on the tires. Could be a 2-stopper, 1-stopper. I'm not quite sure yet. I have to check out my strategies. But yeah, not push too much, or else you end up in the wall.
Yeah, and it's quite tough to overtake there. I mean, the start-finish straight, it's really the only place you can overtake. So, yeah, it's just the same as today. It's all about consistency and just stay on aboard that DRS train, milking it for all it's worth. But yeah, great race from you today, man. We're gonna throw you back into the chat. Thanks for joining us on the stream, and hopefully we'll speak to you again in the coming races.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the future. Hopefully you can get that podium soon, Danny.
Yeah, thank you.
And last but not least, the race winner we have definitely bought in the commentator's booth. So definitely bought. What a win from you today. I mean, it was very dominant, and a lot of people are kind of crying out, "This guy doesn't belong in this tier." Like, what would you say to those guys? Like, first off.
Bah,
Have you any
just
have you any interest in moving up tiers? That's what I'm asking, really.
it was a good race. I didn't have any incidents. I've tried to keep it clean, as always, and I was kind of lucky, I think.
Well, tell us about the tire, tire choice. You went on the hard tires, and me and Kebab were kind of like, this doesn't seem like the right call. I mean, I know you were kind of forced onto it, because you had the medium tire for the first stint, and you wanted to make the most off the safety car. So hards were really the only option at that point. But I mean, hards generally, the consensus view is that they are not the tire you want to be on this track. But somehow you made it work and actually passed guys who were on mediums and took the win in the end. So it was very impressive race from you. When you put the hard tires on, like, were you thinking that you could still challenge for the win?
Yeah, I thought I had a solid pace from the beginning. If I were starting on softs, I would probably go for the mediums as well. The safety car was kind of positive for the guys started on softs, and I didn't have any other option. I said, okay, let's go hards and bring it home.
I was
didn't
thinking,
think
man,
I could win. I didn't think I could win the race. I thought the guys with mediums in the restart they would just disappear. But luckily that didn't happen.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Was with me, the guy the mediums were going to be too quick for you, or maybe too quick for you. But did you ever consider? Did you not consider the softs? Because I'm thinking the softs maybe could have made the 16 laps to the end.
No, I normally push the tires to their limits with
So,
my driving style, and
so you don't think you
I
could have
know,
got them to the end then? No.
yeah, I would definitely have a problem.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, hard was the only option for you in the end.
Bah.
But yeah, you
I mean,
did impressively well on those hard tires because I haven't done much practice on the hards, but I have done a couple of laps at Silverstone, and they are terrible. They have no grip. So to be setting 128 with the hard tires, I think was incredible pace. Because I mean, I set 128 with mediums. So
Yeah.
and I struggled to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, good job, definitely, Bob. But I'm going to ask you again, have you any interest in moving up tiers?
not right now. I mean, I have a lot of personal stuff going on, and I might lose a couple of races. And Wednesday is a perfect day for now.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm happy enough with you, in tier 4. You are quite dominant, but I mean, there are other guys in there, like X Crystals, for example, and other guys, up and coming guys, and we're finding new drivers all the time, so the strength of field will continue to increase. But yeah, I mean, that was a very dominant victory from you in the end. Kind of didn't see it coming, even at the, even when you were in P3, I was thinking, nah, there's no way like a hard guy is gonna take over medium guys. Nah, but you did it, so credit to you. Good job.
And did it in style as well. That overtake,
Yeah,
I was
2
playing
and
with them
1.
both off through Stone off Hanger Straight. That was an incredible move.
2 for the
Thank
price of
you.
1.
I've planned it in the lab before. They've been battling all over the track, and they used quite a lot of their ERS, I guessed.
Yeah, we could.
That's why I saved
Yeah,
it.
they were running very, very low. Well, you were on 80% or so. So yeah, you had a big advantage over them on that. And it was just a matter of time. I was thinking about because they were fighting so hard to overtake each other.
Yeah,
That I thought it was only a matter of time before you get them. But yeah, impressive drive again, and yeah, people will always say the person at the top is too quick for the tier and things like that kind of thing. And I suppose like if Wednesday's the day for you, Wednesday's the day for you. I think the hope is that all of the tiers are competitive enough to have quick drivers at the top and people competing throughout the field and keep it nice tight on the grid. But what do you think about the championship itself at the moment? Because you've gained a lot today in this race, the championship, because Ace Boy didn't seem to be able to cut through the field as well as you did. You've gained quite a bit on him. Are you confident going in the second half of the season?
I'm not nervous either. From the start, I may night drive for fun. It's fun. This league is fun, especially tier 4. And I don't know. I don't think about it. I just focus on my race, and whatever happens, it happens.
Right. Great stuff. Saying all of the right thing. Everything a champion says, take it one race at a time. Great stuff. Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you the best luck in Hungary next week.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think that about rounds up the stream. It was a pretty decent race, and we have a bunch more lined up. You know, tier 3 tomorrow. It's myself and actually Kebab. You're making your debut as a full-time driver in tier 3 tomorrow, I believe.
I think I made my debut last week. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, I'll be driving tomorrow, most likely in the bottom 10 again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully no rain, because I've driven a lot in the rain recently. I would really like a nice, clean, dry race like today. Today was a perfect example. It was a great race, lots of action, lots going on, but not a great deal of incidents and things like that in terms of like drivers crashing out or causing problems for other drivers and things like that. So very impressed with the tier 4 guys. Things are coming along nicely for the season.
Yeah, they put on a real good show for us today. So tomorrow, tier 3 at Britain. Tier 2 is on Friday with the big ones. Tier 1 on Saturday with all the aliens arriving at Britain to take over. And of course Sunday then we've got 2 SRL, Tier 2 and Tier 1. So action-packed weekend ahead for everybody. So stay tuned for that. And we, I think that about rounds it up for now. I'm just going to check chat, see what people are saying. Yep. Definitely about wow, that dude is just amazing, so hyped off this race. So a lot of supporters. I think definitely about. I believe he's Greek, and I think there's a lot of Greek drivers out there. I've noticed over the
yeah, it seems to be an entourage. We travel in packs, us Greeks.
The more the merrier for sure. Yeah, all are welcome. Some very fast drivers coming out of out of Greece right now. So yeah, keep it coming. And I think that's us for now. Unless you've anything else you want to add, Kebab.
No, that's it. Just looking forward to our race tomorrow, and wish you luck tomorrow in tomorrow's race as well. I promise not to eat you off in turn 1.
I can't say I won't do the same. I'll try not to, but yeah. I'll take a wide berth.
You missed a word there, Ocean Chief. I promise not to do it again. You missed me again.
France part 2. It's going to haunt me forever, isn't it? But on that note, guys, thanks everybody for watching. Tune in tomorrow again for Tier 3. Until then, that's it from me and Kebab. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.